to be as entertaining as I possibly can this afternoon, JW.
Well, you said fun-filled, then you said maniac. Some people think maniac-type style is fun-filled. So, there are those people out there.
It could be. But I have a live studio audience with me this afternoon. Yeah. So these are friends of mine. I talked about them on the radio before. I won't put them on camera. Can you hear what I'm saying? Yeah. Do you have the headphones on? All right. Do you have headphones? Alyssa? All right. So they're from Massachusetts. They're huge UConn fans.
Yeah.
So I was telling Dave Hickey, and I told Adia about this the other day, that my wife, they're like my nephew and nieces. I've known them for forever. I like them better than my nephews and nieces that live back there.
I hope they're not
listening.
listening.
I don't care. So they came out and they love basketball. And they wanted a road trip. So he said, come out and visit us. Come out to Tucson. So they go, we're going to go on vacation to Tucson. So I picked them up today, brought them to the studio. They're going to go to Tombstone. Then we're going to take them to see Adia Barnes tomorrow. So Friday. So Adia wants to meet them because they're huge UConn fans. But I'm going to dress them head to toe. In fact, they already have Arizona gear that they're going to have. So we're going to go to the bookstore. UConn fans dressed in Arizona gear to see Adia Barnes coming up on Friday. And then I'm going to take them to the Washington State game on Saturday. So it's a fun-filled vacation for them, hanging out, spending time with me.
Well, hey, Gino's, who everybody measures themselves against, that program. However, what the Wildcat women's basketball team has been doing these last 3 years, if you're not paying attention, that's a real fun program to get behind if you want a second team to root for, that's for sure.
And I'm not sure how fun I am going to be as a tour guide because I picked them up at the airport, but I had a conference call I had to jump on. So I parked in front of Nico's. I said, go in there and get me 2 carne asada tacos.
Right.
Meat and cheese only and a large Diet Coke. And they kind of looked at each other and they said, I don't know what carne asada is.
Sure.
Because they live in Massachusetts.
Of course.
So there's not a taqueria on every corner. So they've already had a burrito, which was good, right? Right? All right. They enjoyed the burrito. They're going to hang out with me. I think tonight we're going to go to Mr. On's for dinner.
Nice.
So we're going to give them the full Tucson experience. Tomorrow they go Tombstone, Bisbee. Friday they're going to hang out with me for Bear Down Friday over at Illegal Pete's down on University. And then on Friday night, we'll go see Adia Barnes. We'll probably go to Bob Dobbs and Dirt Bags. We'll probably go to Whiskey Roads.
All the Tucson traditional places that you take travelers to, of course.
So help me out, folks. Help me out. Because I love these kids. Ryan and Alyssa, I love them. They're the best. If there's anywhere else I should take them while they're visiting us in town, while they're enjoying Arizona on this big vacation of theirs.
Sure.
Where else should I take them? So if anybody has any suggestions, because, this happens this time of year, JW. I love everybody that moves here from another part of the country because their families follow them down there.
Sure.
Like I was talking to Lauren Ware on the basketball team. She lives up in the Dakotas. I think she lives in North Dakota.
Yeah.
She hurt her knee. She's out for the year. But I was talking to her like, well, how often does your family come down to see you? All the time if they want to get rid of the snow drifts in North Dakota.
Good excuse.
Right? I call these guys and we harass them since we've been planning this trip like, oh, you know what? You're going to be able to get out of the snow, come out to Tucson. Wait, Ryan, can I turn on Ryan's microphone?
Of course, of course.
Can we hit Ryan's microphone real quick? Listen, take a picture so we can show it to your grandpa. Ryan, how much, what was the weather like today?
Oh, in Massachusetts, it was, 32 degrees with like rain and slush.
Yeah, so I met him at the airport. I said, "Oh, guys," and I got on an Arizona quarter zip pullover. I'm like, "Guys, I'm so sorry. The weather is so bad today. It's like 66 degrees. I'm freezing." And Ryan looked at me and said,
"It feels great out here. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love it here."
See, there you go. They might not go back to Massachusetts.
Hey, listen, do me a favor and move that microphone. No, this one right here. Yeah,
which one?
That way.
This one. This one right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's perfect right there.
Okay, there you go. All right. Oh, we're gonna take a picture of you guys over here. There you go. I like that.
You're not supposed to pose. It's supposed to be candid.
It's supposed to be candid.
enjoying
Like you're sitting here going, wow.
uncle's radio show.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, well, move that a little closer to you, Ryan.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. So anyway, you guys are excited to be here in Tucson.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alyssa, do you want to talk or do you want me to just leave you alone? She says, okay, leave me alone. But Ryan will be the spokesperson. So we're going to take you to McHale Center to see basketball. And then we're going to take you to Arizona Stadium. And they've been following all the Arizona teams. So Ryan was all fired up, sent me a text message after Arizona beat UCLA. Thought it was pretty cool, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
All right, see, so like and I'm not, and tell them, JW, like I've been talking them up for a year to Adia,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
Right? So Adia comes on, I mention you guys.
Oh,
Yeah, she knows who you are. For
She
sure.
knows who you are. So we're going to go
boy.
see her Friday after the game. And then yesterday I mentioned to Dave Hickey, the athletic director at the University of Arizona. I got 2 UConn. These are like ticket holders that go all the time. Where do they play? Where's UConn women's play?
We play at Gamble Pavilion on Stores.
Wait, you know what? I'm going to break that of them by the time they're done. They're going to be the lone outpost in near Stores. It's Stores, Connecticut, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to be the lone outpost near Stores, Connecticut. Everybody else is a UConn women's basketball fan. They're going to walk around with an I Love Adia Barnes t-shirt.
We got a target on our back.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, after
Now, you have to do this. You've got to wear your Arizona gear inside the arena and take a selfie and send it to me.
But Rich,
What?
understand what after Aerie did to Paige the other year. I don't know if that's like super safe for them to be wearing Arizona gear in stores. It's like
Oh, you know what? Ari's going to be around.
Oh yeah.
Ari McDonald, because she's working on staff. We could probably say hi to her. I think I got her number. All right, we might have to do that as well. Are you guys excited about your trip to Tucson now?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Do you got a burrito?
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That was great.
Yeah.
What did you get?
I got a chicken burrito.
Chicken burrito. Did you get a chicken burrito too?
Oh, yeah.
And then we drove by near the airport. I said, "Have you ever been to In-N-Out Burger?" And what'd you say, Ryan?
We don't have those in Massachusetts.
No.
We
So
don't
I'm
have
going to
those
get
in
them.
New
I'm
England.
going to get them In-N-Out Burger today
Look,
while they're
In-N-Out
here.
was in California 50 years ago. I think Tucson got there first 15
Right.
or 20. So it hasn't
Yeah.
spread. It hasn't
So
spread
that-
from California too fast.
This is going to be one heck of a vacation for you, Pally. They're going to go to
Absolutely.
the gunfight at the OK Corral. Although because they're tenderfoots,
Yeah,
I can actually use that term because they're Easterners.
sure.
They've never seen Tombstone.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if you know anything about the story,
Do you?
if you've seen the movie or that type
Ryan,
of thing,
it's radio. You got to talk. You can't just wave. You can't just shake your head.
Yeah,
Do you
no.
know anything about Tombstone?
No, not at all.
you should.
So when we said, when you guys come out here, on Thursday we'll take you down to Tombstone, and you said, yeah, that'd be great. Do you have any idea what Tombstone is?
No, not really.
So tonight you should watch Tombstone the movie.
I was going to take
Yeah,
him
that's
to.
what we're
I was going to
planning.
take him to Ladies' Night at Whiskey Roads.
Well, yeah. I mean, that
You want
seems
girls
like a
girls
good
in
thing to
cowboy
do.
boots or watching a Western movie? We can
Right.
do both.
Right. That's not much of a choice.
So, have you ever heard of the gunfight at the OK Corral?
No, not at all.
Do you know who Wyatt Earp is?
No.
Have you heard of Doc Holliday?
No.
They will after
Johnny
tomorrow.
Ringo?
We are family.
No, none.
No.
Wow. Now their town is older than the United States of America.
Right.
Right? Like when was Long Meadow founded? Like before 1776. Like when I go visit them, they like you all the monuments and stuff are older than the United States of America. Oh, but you know what they do have that we don't?
What's that?
Biggest claim to fame? Basketball Hall of Fame.
That's right, yeah. In Springfield, Mass. Yep.
Springfield, Mass. Basketball Hall of Fame right there, which is full of Arizona Wildcats.
There's a few.
There's
yeah,
a few. Lute Olson, Basketball Hall of Famer. So I've actually been, you like as a kid, do you grow up going on field trips once a year to the Basketball Hall of Fame?
We once did it, but like me and my friends went out there once, like on a day off, and we're like, oh, let's go check this out again. Like it's always a fun time to go out there.
So you've been to the original one, right? Did you go to the old one?
I did.
Alyssa, your sister did.
did,
You never
yeah.
went to the old one?
No.
Okay. The new one's pretty spectacular. It looks like Epcot with the big golf ball.
Yep.
It's
Sure.
pretty cool.
Big dome.
Big dome. I've done shows from there before. It's a lot of fun. All right, we'll let you co-host as we go through the afternoon. Want to say hi to anybody?
I'm gonna give a shout out to our mom back in Massachusetts, Matt, Grandma and Grandpa. Sorry.
Hey,
Yeah.
you could have shouted out friends at school or whatever, but your parents and
Magoo.
there you go.
We would give a big shout out to Magoo, his grandfather, who's a huge sports fan. They actually watch the show on YouTube.
Well done.
And on Twitch, too.
Yeah, and Twitch. So Magoo, what's up? His mom, his wife Carol. Oh, I love this. When I grow up, I want to be Magoo.
Why is that?
Because Magoo was a firefighter.
Oh, nice.
Right. What did he do in the fire department?
Oh, that's a great question.
Okay, great. Thanks for paying attention.
He fought fires, Rich Rara.
He
That's
fought
what
fires,
firefighters
but
do.
he was a firefighter. But I remember when I first started dating my wife, they lived next door to my father-in-law, and every day, without fail, Magoo would stand on the back stoop, and he would cry out to his wife, "Carol, it's time!" Meaning, he was hungry. And it was time he wanted to eat. Yep. So he would just yell out, "It's time!" And then whatever she was doing, it was time for her to feed him.
Gotcha.
I want to be Magoo.
Don't you do that every night anyway?
No.
Oh, you don't?
All right, okay. If you did that with your significant other,
right,
what would happen?
Well, I cook most of the time, so that wouldn't necessarily happen.
All right,
but
so
she would kind of just look at me and laugh, I think.
If I did that,
out of character.
If I did that, my wife would throw a shoe at me.
Right, yeah, that.
Right? My wife would throw, "Carol, it's time!" I'd totally be wearing a size 13 Converse on the side of my head. Anyway, that's what's rattling around in my head today.
Did we do that yet?
No, but I guess I should probably get to
How's
it.
that?
No, you know what? I'm completely ruined the opening of the show, folks. Because I'm showing off.
You made it better. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I made it better because this is going to be the best show ever. Coming up on the program, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, Brian Jeffries, will join us today because it's Wednesday, 3 o'clock. And I had a bunch of people reach out to me. We had Francisco Romero on the program yesterday, and it was such a great story. A local guy making good, local Tucsonan, learned to speak English listening to Vin Scully call games. And they got a chance to sit down and tell Vin that story. And he got a chance to call the World Series for the Houston Astros this year. We had him on yesterday. And I wanted to talk to him about the entire just postseason. But it just turned out to be such an inspiring story of how this young man has achieved so much. And he's one of the truly good people in the city of Tucson. By the way, I did reach out to the mayor, and I'm going to demand we have a Francisco Romero Day. So this is part of my campaign. In fact, I should text the mayor again.
I like it. I think it's funny that you were talking about getting a Francisco Romero Day, and then he said, "Yeah, I got Regina's number. Let me go ahead and give that to you." So he gave you the mayor's number. So
we're not supposed to tell people.
So that you could get in contact with her to give him a day.
I didn't hear back from him. I think that's a great series of events. I didn't hear back from him, back from her yet. But I'm gonna keep harassing her until I do. If anybody knows the mayor, please tell her I'm trying to get a hold of her. I sent her a text. Tell her to text me back.
You think she knows where get those big ribbons and the scissors and stuff?
Yeah.
Where do they get those things?
I want a key to the city or a proclamation or something. Yeah, we'll do that. So this is part of my ongoing push to have a Francisco Romero Day here in Tucson. I want to replay that for you because a lot of folks said that was really cool. They missed part of it or they want to hear it again. So we'll do that this hour of the program. All right. Coming up on the show, you'll hear from Francisco Romero. You'll hear from Brian Jeffries. UCLA's got a day of reckoning coming up, and I'll tell you what's rattling around in my big old head. That's next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it. Drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak. Driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home. And the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Follow grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain. Loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry. Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins. Throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three. Blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it. It's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way. Out to Tabellas. Down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home. Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats? Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ball game. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
Huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Really
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Just rude because my nephew and nieces are here.
I think you did say hi, but
Kind of.
even if you didn't, I would understand why you did it.
These
got
kids
company.
are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, they're great.
So when I go visit them, they take me places like White Hut, right?
White Castle.
No, White Hut.
What's
It's right across from the Basketball Hall of Fame, right? Just
that's
just
in,
on the other side of the river.
Yeah, West Springfield. Yeah.
West Springfield, right? You got to get up on the microphone, Ryan.
Yeah.
If you're going to be my co-host, then you got to get up on the microphone.
Got it.
But it's a place where it's a griddle, and they serve hamburgers with sautéed onions on top,
Nice.
and cheeseburgers and hot dogs. But it's old school. It's like
Sure.
1920s old school.
Yeah, it's a family
So
business.
you
It's a
can
family
taste that
business.
1920s grease from the grill.
The grill is perfect.
Sure.
Right? But when you go in, it's on the honor system. So you just walk up, you sit at the counter, you stand back there, and there's not tables to sit at. It's just another counter that you stand on, like you would at a bar.
Sure.
Like it's a rail.
Sure.
Because they don't want you too comfortable, because they want you to get in and get out. So, but you go in, and then you order, and you go, 4. And they give you 4 cheeseburgers, and then you go grab your own bag of chips, and you grab your own soda, and then, I need a couple more burgers. And they're full-size burgers, not like White Castle.
Right.
But they're full-size burgers.
So
And
how many burgers have you eaten at White Hut in one sitting?
4.
4 is your record.
4 is my record. 4 double cheeseburgers. That's when I was a lot bigger. Did you even notice how much weight I've lost?
No.
Okay, thanks. Maybe I'm not excited to have Ryan here. Maybe I'm excited to have his sister here instead. But anyway, in my heaviest, I threw down 4 double cheeseburgers once. And but the cool part is, everyone's yelling, screaming back and forth. One of those places, like cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
Sure.
And then at the end, you go, hey, I got to pay, and it's completely on the honor system. How many burgers did you have? I'm like, what? How many burgers? Aren't you keeping track? No, dummy. Tell me how many hamburgers you had.
Right.
I had 4 double cheeseburgers. Wow, you big fatso.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I go see them, that's my place to go in New England.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm going to show them all those places here. So anyway, all right, let's get to what we're supposed to do on this radio program, which is talk about sports. Oh, you foolish people. Let's see what's rattling around in my big old head today.
Warning. The following segment might trigger some listeners, and 1290 does not take responsibility for the following content.
What the hell is going on?
It's time for the list as we explore the sick, twisted mind of our host, Rich Herrera,
And that's when things got bad.
and the list of things he is thinking about in that huge size 8 Chrome Magnum head of his.
Look at the size of that boy's head. That's like an orange on a toothpick. You're gonna give the boy a complex. Well, that's a huge noggin. Has its own weather system.
I just looked at something. I'm watching on the monitor on the stream. I didn't realize they do this. I push on the microphone with my nose like a seal.
Cats do that when they're going to eat, I think, too.
Yeah, I was just moving the microphone with my nose. I'm like a trained seal doing this. Oh. All right, here's what's rattling around in my big old head. I'm not kidding. I was asking people today around the office. I think some of them understand, some of them don't. I should have gone out to the airport and walked through and asked people, do you understand where we are right now
People
with Arizona
love it
football?
when random strangers just come up to them and ask them questions, too, these days. They love it.
Is that true, Ryan? The random people?
I mean, it depends.
Ryan, I think you have a future as a sports talk
If
show
the
host.
person is smiling and has a positive attitude, yes. But
No,
if the
but you-
person is a doomsday person and wants to ask you about nonsense, then chances
Are you a Facebook person?
Am I?
Yeah.
No.
Ryan?
I mean, I go on just to see
Yeah,
what
but-
our family posts, but like besides that, like,
I know. Old people are on Facebook, right?
Not really.
Yes, it is. See, you're too nice. Yeah, if you're on the radio, you've got to be brutally honest with people. If you think of Facebook, don't you think of old people like your mom?
I guess so. I
Right?
mean, come on.
Right? Like Rich. Rich is old. I'll admit it.
Rich, let me explain to you how this works.
Yes.
So kids find stuff that their parents don't understand, and that's termed "quote unquote" cool. And as
Right.
soon as the parents find
No,
that
it's-
thing
it's
and
fire.
embrace it, then all of a sudden that thing no longer becomes cool, and the next generation of kids have to find something else. And that's been happening for about a million years now.
No, it's
So
not cool anymore. It's fire.
Fire, sure.
Yeah.
It's fire.
It's pretty fire.
Well, that's a good example, Rich, right there, is that, there were some other words we might have used in when we were that age, but
We have people
those aren't
looking
cool
at us.
anymore.
Is Jose looking at me?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think he's just walking up and down the hallway.
okay. He stuck his head in the door and looking at us. So like,
I think we're doing just fine.
okay. So it's fire. So anyway, old people are on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
What do you look at? Instagram?
I'm on Instagram,
Yeah.
Twitter.
He's on the gram. Is it what do you call it? Instagram, IG, the gram?
It's just Instagram. I'm just basic Instagram, yeah.
See, because JW and I are old.
Hey, I'm not old. I'm just getting old.
But on my Facebook page now, when I look on Facebook, they have Reels, and the Reels are reposted TikTok videos. So and it's an algorithm. So maybe it's just my sick, twisted head of what I look at on Instagram.
Right.
So it's either Modern Family, which I've never watched Modern Family before in my life, but I keep getting Modern Family clips. I get clips of Family Guy, and I get and now I'm getting clips of, and I have no idea why, because I watched one and they just won't stop showing up on my Facebook feed, of tell me something you've never told your friends. It's some dude standing there, just random guys with the microphone asking hot girls, tell me something your friends don't know about you.
That's how these algorithms work.
Is that what it works?
You just watch one, and
then
it's
now
gonna
I can't get
suggest
rid
you-
of it.
If you got to fix your garage door and you go watch a repair video,
Yes.
then for the next 6 months, you're going to have, hey, do you need your garage door fixed? No, I only need it done the one time. I don't need to do it every single week.
I need a new office chair, and that's all that's showing up on my phone these days.
Yeah.
Right? So I was thinking about this. I should walk around. Not that I'm going to go talk to people. Not I'm going to go be creepy. But we should walk around asking people, do you realize what's going on right now with Arizona football?
2 more wins.
2 more wins, and they could go bowling. You go from winning 1 game last year to going bowling. I am not kidding. This is not a lie. I told about a half dozen people around the office today, and they had no idea. Wake up, Tucson. There's a chance Arizona could go bowling, and I'm going to be on you to get you out to the game this weekend. One of the things I think we need to do this week is just stop, take a moment, and just take a little selfie of where we are right now in life if you're in Tucson, Arizona. Because it wasn't that long ago that it was pretty tough to put on an Arizona football t-shirt. Pretty tough to wear an Arizona football t-shirt a year ago. Let's be candid. How many of you put your Arizona football t-shirts in the bottom drawer in your house and just are barely starting to pull it back out right now? I did the post-game show after the 70-7 loss. I did the post-game show last year, right? We were here through that, JW.
Yep.
We were here through that. It was tough, man. It was tough. And you go from how tough that was, that heartbreaking night. I remember watching Glenn and Kelvin, and you were right here. I was sitting in my house in San Diego because of COVID. We all couldn't be in the same room. You were sitting there. I think Glenn was sitting where I am right now, and Kelvin was in the other studio.
Yeah, we had everybody separated in every different room.
But we FaceTimed with each other.
Yes.
And I remember looking at the pain on their face.
Anger.
Yeah. Hurt. And the pain in their voice. And we got all those alumni on, and they were not happy. That was just 2 years ago. You go from there to an opportunity that you've got a path, and it's a legitimate conversation that Arizona can go bowling. And just you need to stop and just take a moment and take that selfie and reflect. Big credit to Jed. Bigger credit to Johnny Nansen.
It's all about your perspective, where you're looking at things from. They've won 4 out of 10 this year, right?
Right.
And 5 out of the last 31. I mean, something to that effect.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a crazy number. So when you think about, and the eye test is what I look at, Rich, the way they're playing this year, and especially that defense, the young guys showing up this past Saturday, it's nothing but positive moving forward as far as I'm concerned.
That's why I say credit to Jed Fish.
Yeah.
Because he turned this program. And I'm going to say bigger credit to Johnny Nansen, because Johnny Nansen stood there and he took all the garbage and nonsense from everybody in town and held firm. And he did something that all great coaches do. I saw Joe Madden do this. I've seen so many managers do this in baseball. He took all the heat.
Yeah.
Because people are, and again, I know who you are, and I'll remember who you are, who started writing, maybe we should get rid of Johnny Nansen. I haven't seen anything written about, do we need to look at a new coach on defense yet, have we? Not after that UCLA game. I mean, who knows? They could completely go out there and get blown out by Washington State, but I've got a feeling. But Johnny Nansen never threw anybody under the bus. He stood there, and I watched that man get peppered by those questions in the press conferences, and watched everybody take their pot shots. And you know what he did? He stood there, he stood up for his team, and they responded against UCLA. I think they respond against Washington State. So that's why I give him such huge props. We're going to talk about that coming up on the program, I promise.
Got to make a play, right? Isn't that what Tommy always said to those guys?
What Wildcat's going to make a play?
Yeah, exactly. And how many Wildcats made a play this Saturday, Rich? All of them on defense.
Well, it's enough that Ryan decided to fly out from Connecticut just to see, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So anyway, that's what's rattling around in my big old head right now. Plus, there's I got to get to the story. Big day coming up for UCLA. I don't want to forget about that as well because they're getting closer to that big meeting with their Board of Regents on whether they're going to leave the Pac-12. We'll do that for you coming up in the next hours. But right now, I have an encore presentation. I had a chance to sit down with Francisco Romero yesterday. We didn't talk about baseball. We talked about his life. It's a pretty remarkable, inspiring story. And I'll be honest, I teared up a little bit. We'll do that next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Coloco. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Coloco, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Coloco, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Coloco, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Coloco. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Coloco. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Coloco, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Coloco looked like what, driving down the... I mean, that was from mid-court. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big
Really
time.
on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Abear. They just got him. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Organization has developed as a champion not only once but twice, and to think about being there when the team lost 100 or more games 3 years in a row to where they are now, it's been an amazing journey, and it's been amazing to watch it firsthand from front row.
Yeah, I'm not buying any of this. You're way too humble. Let me ask you this question again. You ready?
No, go ahead.
All right, so here, let's start just talking about all the places that you've actually sat there with a microphone in your hand, talking to people in calling a game. First place you ever called a game was where?
First place I ever called a game was in Tucson for the Tucson Sidewinders.
Okay.
And
Brett Dolan and I did that, but we don't have World Series. We don't have 2 World Series rings from the Astros. So now I want you to go back to working for Jay Zucker, back then called Tucson Electric Park. Some guy who was doing environmental PR, I believe, is what you were doing. Graduate from the University of Arizona, learned his English watching Vin Scully with your brother during Fernando Mania, and you go from those humble beginnings here in Tucson, Arizona, to you're standing there with Dusty Baker and the organization. You're standing in the locker room. Come on. You're the only one I know that has come from Tucson, Arizona, calling games in Espanol for the Tucson Sidewinders to standing there in the locker room doing interviews while they're pouring champagne over your head. Come on now.
No, it's amazing. It has been a great run. And yes, there's 2 parts of my life. Before getting into media, I was working when I graduated from college for the county. I worked for the county board of supervisors when I was a student answering phones. But then I was working for the Department of Environmental Quality with David Esposito back in mid-'90s when I got a job with the Sidewinders and left the county to do that. But yes, as one of my teachers told me one time, from Wakefield to broadcasting at Minute Maid Park and Yankee Stadium, I mean, that really, you put it in perspective, that really makes you think about all those times. And at one point in time, with your help, actually, I was doing... Arizona football, basketball. I was doing my gig at Telemundo, and I was doing Brewers, Twins, and Arizona Cardinals halftime show at the same time. I was broadcasting for about 7 entities at the same time, and so, but yeah, you have to reflect on it, and a kid who crossed the border at 12 years old, wanting to touch the grass of a baseball field before he died. I get to do that every day because I would watch it on TV, and the grass looks so green that I just wanted to touch it, and before I died, to know what it felt like. I said maybe as a ball player, but I never got to be that good to be a professional ball player. But it does make you reflect on the life that one has had, and to say that dreams do come true. At Wakefield, I wrote a report one time, a book report. Well, it wasn't a book report, an essay, and I believe it was 80. When the Cardinals won the World Series, what was it, 83, 82?
85, and they beat the Royals at Don Denkinger's call.
Yeah, and it was, And so the teacher goes, hey, you're gonna work in sports one day. So, those things stick to your mind and make you believe. So the words that teachers have on you or people who are around you have on you, they do stick to you. So those are the kinds that stuck to me. And I said, well, why not? Let's try this and do it. And so once I started working for Jay at Telemundo and then the Tucson Sidewinders, it was, you could start feeling it, but you never know how far you're going to get. You don't know if you're ever going to be at a celebration, and luckily I have been at two World Series celebration, and I got to take Dusty some cigars that were made in Ciudad Obregón, Sonora, where he played winter ball. He really liked those. And so it was pretty neat. I mean, people ask me about my job, where I've been, but I tell them, the journey you have to enjoy the journey, whether you're broadcasting AAA baseball or you're broadcasting somewhere else. But the journey that you take to get to where you're at, you have to reflect on it and enjoy it.
I'm just thinking of the broadcasters that have come out of Tucson. Was Matt Fiskergian here, I think?
Yes, he was there.
Fiskergian, you, me. There's a couple that have got to the big leagues, right?
There's a few. There's the Oakland A's broadcaster, the one in Spanish who was before me, Francisco Ernesto Ruiz. He was with the Toros, and then the Astros. So there's been about 5 or 6 from Tucson who made it to the big leagues, and Mike Fader has had a lot to do with it.
All right. You represent this community so well. People here are so proud of you, both English and Spanish speaking. I mean, for one of our own, to be able to be there at that moment. Just reflect on the support that you've had from this community and all these people that are Wildcat fans that are Tucsonans, like I said, English-speaking, Spanish-speaking. I mean, again, I could probably run you for mayor, and it wouldn't take 4 days to count the votes because you'd win 100%.
No, I mean, it's been great. I mean, I posted some stuff on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, and I haven't answered many of those, but there's been a lot. I mean, I was surprised how many people from the community, English and Spanish, reach out and they've expressed their support. I mean, anywhere from the Little League coach. And this year we had, I don't know if I talked to you about, I hosted at Minute Maid Park the cross-country team from Sunnyside High School. So we had them here, and they became, we gave them the tour, and they became hardcore Astros fans. At least that's what they're telling me. But that's pretty neat, and they're calling and texting and posting, and it's very neat to see that from Coach Stater. He sent me a text, so there's many people, former elected officials like Dan Extra, check this out, former Little League players who I coached are texting, and a former Little League coach who I coached at American Little League Baseball. They're looking for ways to reach out, and so that's pretty neat too. I coached baseball about 30 years ago at Rodeo Park, and so those are the kind of people, like you said, from everywhere, and I really appreciate how they reach out, and I try to represent Tucson as well as my family, as well as I can. But that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. It really hits your heart when you hear from people that you haven't heard from a long time, and then they share your success, because I think my success is the success of everybody who's ever been involved in my life.
You know what that is, don't you? That's being a role model.
Yeah.
You're a role model.
Well, thanks.
I know I'm embarrassing you. I know you're getting mad, but I don't care, because we need more role models like you. I mean, think about all the kids from Tucson that have heard your story and they go, I go to Sunnyside. What am I going to do with my life? I look at guys like you, Jaime Rivera, who's the first Sunnyside student to ever make it to a service academy. He's doing great at West Point right now. You've shown people it doesn't matter where you come from. If you have a little bit of work ethic and you put yourself in a position, you can call the World Series at Minute Maid Park.
And talking about that, now that you mention it, one of the things that I really like to stress is that when I started working in media, I used to cover, local sports. And then we went to, I was covering the Arizona basketball. And so some guys from the Galaxy asked me, hey, how can we broadcast a basketball game? So we went to Jim Livengood's door and we knocked in his door. We went and we asked for a meeting. And he met with us and he listened to us and he opened the doors of the University of Arizona for us. And so we broadcasted a game. Dalston was there, and so many other people who were there. John Perrin was there. James Francis was there, very, very young James Francis. And so they welcomed us there, and we're still involved with them. And so those are the things that you need to get to. And what I'm trying to get is that nobody called or nobody asked for anything. I went and knocked on the door of the athletic director, and now the current athletic director, David Hickey, has welcomed us with the same way, with open arms. And so I went and knocked at the door at the athletic department's office. And so those are the things that this kid needs to start doing, because nothing is going to come on its own. You have to work for it, and you have to, reach for what you want. So that's kind of the things that I did. And yes, at some point in time, I had a very good job at the county with the Department of Environmental Quality, doing outreach and education in the community in regards to household hazardous waste. But then I wanted to do more. I wanted to explore it. Since I wasn't good enough to become a player, I wanted to be in the sport. So that's what I did. I reached out to what I wanted to do, to what I enjoyed doing. And so that's how I started getting into media and baseball, and got and reached out for Mike Fader and got the job with the Sidewinders, and then with Jim Livengood, and then people like you along the way who gave me the tip about the Minnesota Twins, and Brett Dolan, who told me about the Brewers, and then the D-backs also hired me. So it's reaching out and knocking on doors and really doing what you want to do.
So, kids, I'll tell you this, if you're listening, don't be afraid to take a chance. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to have someone slam the door in your face, because it's going to happen a lot, correct?
Yeah, it happens, but, I've been lucky enough that people have believed in me. Like, who would have thought that, the athletic director, who at that time was head of the NCAA committee, would ride in the car with me to go to Nogales to go sign a contract to broadcast
right.
the basketball games. Yeah.
Well, I mean, okay, we've never had this discussion. So when you write the book, I expect to have a whole chapter written about me. Okay, I expect to have a whole chapter written about me. You've never asked me this before. So when Nancy O'Brien of the Twins reaches out to me looking for a Spanish broadcaster, let's call Herrera. I think Herrera could do the games. And I used to laugh. I told you this all the time. I get calls from Telemundo and Univision. Hey, how'd you like to go broadcast the Olympics? Great. What network? Univision. Darn it, I don't speak Spanish. And, they just see a Hispanic last name and they automatically assume I speak Spanish. So there's so many of those opportunities I didn't get. And my dad would yell at me, Mijo, learn to speak Spanish. I'm like, I can't do that. It's too difficult because you got to think and talk, and it would just be, it's very difficult to do, to be bilingual as a broadcaster. But you've never asked me this. Why did I pick up the phone and put my name out there with someone I used to work with for you?
Yeah, you did it. And I appreciate it, but I never asked you, why'd you do that?
Because you're genuinely one of the nicest, kindest souls I've ever met.
Oh, thanks.
In a day and age where everybody has an angle and everybody's a jerk and everybody's so angry and everybody's out to get each other and they're going to stab each other in the back to get there and just they don't care and there's a lack of ethics and civility. And my big thing I've been talking about for years now on the radio is we've lost grace, that people don't show grace anymore. And then I meet a man like you 20 years ago, and there's an opportunity. And I knew a bunch of Spanish broadcasters. There's a bunch of people that I could have called and recommended for the job. But I told OB, here's my guy. Give him a chance. He is one of the best people I've ever known, pure of heart and soul. And when they say good things happen to good people, I will hold up Francisco Romero as an example of good things happen to good people. If you're good to people, good things are going to come your way. And that's why I revel in your success. I was breaking out crying thinking of you standing there in the locker room. And I saw the pictures of you with the champagne pouring around you. And I've been telling people, I've been thinking about this all week knowing that we're going to talk to you. Just that opportunity, because you got to do something none of us get to do. You get to taste the champagne through your nose. You didn't have a drink of champagne, but you sure tasted it. Just by being in that room with all that champagne being poured, you could taste it through your nose. And there's very few people that have ever been able to experience that.
Yes, it's thank you for, and again, thanks for recommending me. But that was a huge part of why the Astros hired me when I sent in that demo that included the Minnesota Twins gig, and I did it for 5 years, and not many games, but I did it. But going back to being in that locker room, it is something that we have to appreciate. And when I say enjoy the journey and the moment, and even my daughter, when I got out of the locker room, she said, "Hey, Dad, please don't ever wash that shirt that you have on," because I did smell like champagne. And so I haven't washed it, so it's there. I probably won't wash it, and I won't wear it again. But yeah,
I got a T-shirt. I got a shirt and a hat that I put in a Ziploc bag, and if I open up the Ziploc bag, I could still smell the champagne from 2008.
Yes, you're absolutely right. It does smell. I haven't put it in a bag yet, but I will. And so, but those are the moments as my wife and daughter are celebrating on the field with the families and some of the players. So I get out and yeah, it smells like champagne. She says, and don't ever wash it. And the thing that brings out my daughter and my wife is that now my daughter realizes that, like a few years ago, she thought all the kids can go to the ballpark and get out of the walk through the tunnel with the players.
Tunnel with the players
And she thought everybody did that. They talked to Altuve on the way out, and and I'm like, no, you're one of the very few who does it. And now she's starting to realize that she is only one of the few, and she also made the trip to Philadelphia with me. So she experienced the no-hitter and everything that has to do, riding on the bus with the police escorts, and she loved that. She loved that part. But again, going back to not many people get to do it, and yes, we have to be appreciative of that and take it in and share with all those who you love and who are around you and who are your friends, because through you, they're living the moment, like you said. But it's a neat feeling, and even if it's the second time, it feels like it's different. We had tasted 2 years of losing at home, and now we get to win the World Series at Minute Maid Park. That made it even more special.
How do we sell this? How do we sell this? How do we inspire the next generation of kids that are going to cross from Nogales when they're 12 years old, or are the sons of migrant farm workers, or the sons of copper miners, or the son of a mechanic? And those are all great jobs. Those are all hardworking jobs. My dad used to tell me, listen, I use my back, you use your brain, and change the direction of your household. Where you look at your daughter, she can do anything in the world, right? She has opportunities that you and I never had. I look at my son at the academy and I go, wow, I could never have dreamed of that. How do we help share this with the rest of Tucson?
Look, the reality comes down to there comes a time when you are no longer a child and you have to wake up from those dreams. People tell you to dream, but then there's a time when you have to wake up and actually do it. Because as I was growing up, going to Pueblo to high school, I had many high school jobs. For Dollar Rent-A-Car, I worked for Taco Bell, I worked for an accounting firm, and then my senior year, I worked for a bank through a program called, I think it was through a school program that through the business part, I think through FBLA, I believe it was. And so that turned my view around as a senior in high school. I'm like, wow, I'm working with professional people when most of my friends are working at the same age in fast food restaurants. So there's, if we make the right decisions, I said, if I make the right decisions, I could do whatever I want. And so that's when it hit me, my senior year in high school, through Pueblo High School, I had that class that we worked, and then we got paid, and we got credit. And so, again, there needs to be a time of all the dreams that you have, you need to wake up and take action. But actually, the reality is, when I say take action, do what I did. Go knock on the door of an athletic director's door. Go knock on the door if you want to be a doctor to the doctor himself. So things like that, you have to take action in order to get things done, because things are not going to come on their own. You could have the best grades in the world, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. So I guess for the new generation, is take action. And with all the tools available, whether it's media, whether it's engineering, or, the tools are out there for you to go grab what you want to do. And I think that should be the message, take actions on your dreams, wake up and go and go do them, go get them done.
Inspiring. We didn't even talk about what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the whole World Series. Can I have you come back on and we'll just walk through everything that you experienced this postseason?
Yeah, sure.
I think today was a pretty special day. Somebody get me the mayor. I demand the city of Tucson declare a Francisco Romero Day. Yeah, I'm not kidding here. Aren't you friends with the mayor?
Yeah, Regina, she and I work together, yes. Actually, I said I would have her call you, and I haven't done that, but I want to have Regina call you.
All right, give her my number. You know what? I'm serious. Give her my number. I need to talk to her. I'm going to lobby for a Francisco Romero Day.
Okay.
You represent. Listen. I wish I was half the kind soul that you are. I'm a jerk. You're the one that's the nicest person I know. So send me her number. I'm going to call her and get her on the phone.
Okay, I'll send you her number.
All right, get out of here.
Just don't anybody tell her it's me sending it.
That's right. Hey, seriously, good things happen to good people. I love you. You're a tremendous individual, a great father, and you represent our community so well.
No, well, thank you. Love you too, Rich. And again, thanks for that. That when you recommended me, that was a big part. Again, during the interview with the Astros, that demo with the Twins. And so at one point in time, like I said, I was doing 7 gigs at one point in time. And so, but I enjoyed every bit of it. And it didn't even seem like work. So I guess the cliche goes, when you like what you're doing, you're not even working. So that's basically what I'm doing. I don't feel like it's work. But I was nervous in that Game 5. I can tell you that.
100%. Hey, I got to run. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon. Thank
you, Rich. We'll see you. Thank you so much.
All right, take care. Francisco Romero joining us here. Coming up next, Dave Hickey. Listen, that was pretty cool. We'll continue with It's 1290.
Rich Herrera. Exclusively on Wildcats Radio 1290. Tucson, a Cumulus media station. When you are named after the Arizona Wildcats, you have to work hard every day to be worthy of such an honor. That's why we grind as hard as we do. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic. Backups on the southbound side of I-19 just as you merge from I-10. We've got reported collisions at Anklam and St. Mary's, Wetmore and Stone Avenue, Colossal Cave Road and Mary Ann Cleveland Way. Also a crash on Gates Pass Road east of Gates Pass Trailhead. All in the clearing stages. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech. This fall, there are updated COVID-19 booster shots designed to help protect against recent Omicron variants. If it's been at least 2 months since your primary series or booster, schedule your updated COVID-19 booster dose at vaccines.gov.
Hey there, folks. Dragon Ball here. Just letting you know that Betfred has come all the way from England to the great state of Arizona with over 50 years of sports betting experience. Fred is known in the UK for 3 things. That's customer service, bonuses, and delivering the best overall experience to their players. Do you need any more than that? Well, download the Betfred Sports app today, and you can receive up to $250 in free bets when signing up. No emperors, no movie stars, just a sportsbook app you can trust. Download it today. Must be 21 years or older and present in Arizona to bet. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
This month at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we're offering Chevy Cybercash. What? Cybercash is basically a coupon that you'll find on our website. When you're looking through select new models, you'll see down in the corner a little Cybercash coin, meaning your vehicle is eligible for a $500 discount on top of other offers. You can start saving at O'Reilly.com or call 747-8000. Better yet, see us in person on Broadway next to Park Place Mall, where you can find new roads at O'Reilly Chevrolet. More than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
At Tobacco Barn, everyone knows the prices are out of this world. Roger, Houston, we are currently over North America. Because you can save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products. Just passing over Tucson, Arizona. Up to $20 in city and state sales tax because they're on the reservation. There seems to be some disturbance on Nogales Highway. And up to another $3 with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. The entire city seems to be gathering. Tobacco Barn saves you up to 40% on your favorite tobacco products, up to $20 in city and state sales tax, and up to $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Houston, we have a problem. There seems to be another spaceship up here. Now the entire universe knows where to save money. Roger, Houston. First alien contact to be at Tobacco Barn. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com. Roger, contact made.
License 240693.
I'm feeling generous.
Are you planning a picnic?
I'm planning on $50 Alaska vacations.
$50 Alaska vacations?
An Alaskan AC Alaska vacation is the world-famous tune-up that's so good, it comes with a 1-year guarantee of no breakdowns.
$50?
Alaskan AC is 50 years old this year. Think about that. 50 years!
That's more than 40.
We have customers today whose grandparents were our customers back in 1972.
I'm starting to think Ron has a good idea.
Now to take my favorite managers out to lunch.
I'm starting to think we're in Bizarro world.
Schedule your Alaska vacation right now. It's only $50.
On account of our 50th anniversary. Thanks, Spanky.
We will tune up your furnace,
clean out all the gunky gunk,
look for anything not working,
and inspect it for safety.
Then we'll guarantee no breakdowns for a year.
It's the best way to know for sure everything's working right. Just $50 through November 15th. Or when we get the old Ron back. Whichever comes first.
Schedule online right now at AlaskanAC.com.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
This is Wildcat Wednesday on 1290 as we relive some of the rich tradition and history of the University of Arizona with the men and women who made the Wildcats a symbol of pride in the Pac-12 Conference. Wildcat Wednesday is presented by your Tucson PGA Tour Superstore, located at Oracle and Limberlost in Tucson. Shop with the pros. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, thanks for joining us, everybody. The Rich Rare Radio Show on a Wildcat Wednesday, brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore, the one place you need to go if you're a golf fan, the only place you need to go if you love the game of golf. They have everything. You could walk in literally in flip-flops and a pair of shorts and walk out with everything you need to play golf at PGA Tour Superstore. Show today brought to you by QC Kinetics. All right, the temperature's perfect right now. The temperature's great. Everything's fine. You know what's not fine? You sitting on the couch because you're still in pain. Whether it's that torn meniscus that you just couldn't get fixed, whether it's that achy joint that you have, your bad back, maybe it's that bone-on-bone arthritis. That's not good. Everything else is great. So why not take care of that? It's not going to get better on its own. And you don't have to rely on things that they did 30 years ago. There's new ways of dealing with joint pain. One of them is called QC Kinetics. They take regenerative treatments that can restore and repair damaged tissue. Here's what they do. These amazing protocols work with pain caused by injury. You take this treatment with regenerative medicine, and all of a sudden you're going to find out there is just hope for you to get lasting pain relief. And you can actually get out and do things again. So here's the deal. Call them right now. Don't keep living with the pain. Learn how regenerative medicine can give you your life back with no drugs and no surgery. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, 520-497-4955. That's 520-497-4955. QC Kinetics. Here's their number, 520-497-4955, located at Academy in Orange Grove. QC Kinetics. One more time. Call them. Don't keep living in pain. 520-497-4955. All right. I said this earlier, JW. I was talking to people here at the station. I've been going out. Like today, I'm going to do this. When we go to dinner tonight and see Mr. On, I'm going to ask people in the restaurant because, you have to sit at that communal table.
You're going to go to random people's tables while you're at the restaurant.
No,
Gotcha.
I'm going to. Ryan's here. I'm going to let Ryan pipe in here.
Break the ice.
My nephew from New England. Did I tell you this when we go to the Japanese restaurant? We're going to sit like this around a big hibachi table with people we don't know.
Really?
Yeah, with random strangers.
Okay.
You got to talk to the microphone.
Oh, sorry.
There you go. Better.
Have you ever seen the television show The Office?
I've seen like bits and parts. Like I'm not like a true like fan of it.
There was a famous episode where they all sat around a similar
right. So
setup.
we're gonna sit. I think it's 1, 2, like 4 across the middle. So there's like 10 people.
Yeah.
And we're gonna sit with 10. So it's gonna be the 4 of us, you, your sister, me, and my wife, and the 4 of us are gonna sit with random people we've never met before. We don't know them. They don't know us.
Right.
We probably won't introduce ourselves. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Right.
Sure.
Sometimes people do. Sometimes people don't.
That's a TBD scenario. You got to sit down first and then decide
see how
whether
friendly
or not,
people are, right?
It could be squirrely. You just don't know.
So you're going to sit with just random people tonight.
Yep.
And have dinner.
Yeah.
Is that weird?
I mean, I've done it in the past. Like, there's a hibachi place in my neck of the woods over in Massachusetts. And, it was kind of weird. It's like, obviously they're cooking all this food in front of you, and it's like, how do you break the ice? Like, what do you bring up? Right?
Sake bomb!
That's one way to break the ice. Sure.
Sake bomb! But we're going to sit with random people. So tonight, I need you to help me. Because I don't want to be like the guy, we just saw Buzz Jackson from Kim FM, and he was saying what did he say?
You mean the Buzz Jackson.
The Buzz Jackson, Country Radio Hall of Famer.
Sure.
What did he say that it was doom scroll? Is that what he called it?
Doom scroll, yeah.
Doom scrolling is what the kids are calling it now when you're just scrolling through your timeline on social media.
Yeah, we've been calling it that for a good,
No, you
8
haven't.
or 10 years now, Rich, yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Ever since the internet became a situation by which...
That's not true. Why am I just hearing of it today?
Well, you said you were old earlier. I said I was not quite there yet, but getting old, and that's probably why.
But I look up things in Urban Dictionary all the time to try to be cool. That's why I know that I'm not cool anymore. I'm fire.
The issue, Rich...
Because that's what people say.
The big issue, Rich, I think, is that your son is older. But if he was 10 years younger, you would already know about all these things.
He's kind of a nerd.
No.
Yes, he is. He's kind of a dork. I love him. But he's not a big partier. He doesn't go out. He doesn't even, he doesn't even have a license.
What?
Yeah. His goal was to drive a ship before he drives a car, and he made his dream came true that he piloted a ship. He drove the ship through the Golden Gate, underneath the Golden Gate Bridge without hitting the bridge, so he could say that I actually drove a ship before I drove a car.
Right past Marin County.
Yeah, exactly.
So while you're at this restaurant tonight, you're going to be going around asking random people.
Okay, this is called a rabbit hole that I'm going down. Oh, wait a minute. Am I working?
You are.
Is
We're
my
on the
sound
air.
working?
We're live.
No,
Is
is my sound effects working?
Yes, your sound effects are working.
Okay.
Dive.
Yeah, this is called I'm going down a rabbit hole here. I'm just going to go ask random people. Do you realize Arizona can go bowling if they win their final 2 games of the season?
Are you trying to make me look stupid? Don't need any help from me, sir. That's right.
So that's my big thing is I'm going to walk around. I'm going to ask people that and see what they say.
Not so fast, all 3 of you guys.
Really?
I got Arizona.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Rich Rera, but Mr. On's been a supporter of the University of Arizona Athletic Department for several 3, 4 decades. So I'm assuming that potentially his clientele would be maybe more in the know about where the U of A football team is than the average person off the street.
And sometimes it's a yes, yes, no. Sometimes it's a no, no, yes.
We'll see. We'll see whether people understand, because I want everybody in town to understand that.
Get some facts and come back and see me.
That's a fact. Arizona is just a few games away from getting to a bowl game. And that's kind of like, we all expect this from basketball, right?
Love the way they had the radio station, Wildcat Radio, 1290 AM on your dial, with Rich out there just talking all day long.
But now, if you got football on that same level as basketball, look out.
Not so fast, all 3 of you guys. Really? I got Arizona.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something?
Bring it on, baby. I'll bring it.
Oh, bring it on. Let's go. So I'm gonna do random questions tonight of people eating dinner.
Are you gonna bring a little notepad, or is this gonna be just
No, that's Ryan's job. That's Ryan's job.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the tally.
That is your job to make me look good.
Of course.
That's all that we're gonna ask of you while you're here. Just to be my producer while we go to dinner tonight.
I think this is one of the traits of a really good producer. Keep the talent happy.
Whatever you can do to keep me happy tonight, okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see what we can do. All right, coming up, though, I do need, there's a couple things I want to talk about. UCLA has an issue. John Canzano wrote a piece, and he has the survey from the student athletes at UCLA. I want to talk about that. But before we get there, coming up next, I want to give credit where credit is due in this town for a blueprint of success that we're seeing repeated. And it's not very often you see really great blueprints being able to be repeated within your lifetime. I'll explain what I'm talking about, why Adia Barnes laid out the groundwork for what we're seeing with Arizona football. We'll do that for you. That's right. Cheer for Adia Barnes. Cheer all you want. We'll do that next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Krisa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Krisa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down. That was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko. Feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline. Circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep three from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps into the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season.
Rich Herrera Radio Show rolls on a Wednesday. Brought to you by PGA Tour Superstore. I love Wednesdays. This is always my favorite part of the show because we talk about what makes Arizona different. We talk about what makes Arizona a special place. Like there's other places. Ryan sitting here with me, my nephew from Massachusetts. You know what? UConn. You guys go to UConn games, right?
Absolutely. Yep.
UConn is now bowl eligible.
Yep.
After
UConn
beating
football.
Liberty.
Yep. Last week at the Run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's a lot of schools that are doing what Arizona's doing today, but the manner that Arizona had one win last year, and now we're legitimately talking about Arizona having an opportunity to go to a bowl game. And I know I am not going to make Coach Jed Fish happy.
You play to win the game.
Right?
It's like taking poison, like rat poison.
Ooh, rat poison.
The rat poison that you put out was yummy.
Yes, that's the rat poison I'm putting out. But for the community, this is pretty remarkable. All right, I got to get telephone calls. JW said, shut up, start taking telephone calls. 520-848-1290.
That's not the exact verbiage that I use.
We can't say it because it's FCC rules. We can't use that language. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290, the number for you to join us. In case you're wondering, my nephew and niece, Hooli, and Ryan are here with me visiting, and they got a burrito so far. They're going to go to Tombstone.
They get to learn who Wyatt Earp is.
They get to learn who Wyatt Earp is because they have no idea because they're tenderfoot Easterners.
Yep.
Ryan's going to go get an In-N-Out burger a little bit later. They're from Massachusetts. They're UConn basketball fans. Although your mom's a Michigan fan, right?
Michigan football.
How's she a Michigan fan?
She started liking Jim Harbaugh when he coached the Niners, and ever since then, she's kind of followed him to Michigan, and the program he's been doing over there is, unreal.
All right, so then again, like I said, they're huge Geno fans, but I'm going to break them of that. I'm taking them over to the bookstore. I'm going to have them. Well, actually, I already have some stuff. I already have something for Hooli. She's going to roll in there wearing a Dia Barnes gear to go see Arizona play against Lyle Lamermont.
But that's not breaking them of their love of Geno and their program.
By the time they meet Adia, she's just going to be so happy.
Yeah. I think it's more like adopting a second team to root for when Connecticut's not playing. Probably is more likely.
No, we're taking over.
All right. Well, good luck with that, Rich Herrera.
You know what?
Be a dog. We don't need no meow.
Yeah. So they're just going to get after it. They're going to get after it. All right. Let me take telephone calls. Rich, Chicago. Bear down, buddy. How are you?
Hey, bear down. The timing couldn't be better. I just sent you stuff. You probably haven't had a chance to read
I didn't look yet, but I saw I got an email from you.
Yeah, well, there's a couple of things. When I said the timing is perfect, one of the things that you were talking about is the quality of the entire athletic program. So I went back and looked in the last 10 years for the All Sports Trophy in terms of the rankings for the entire athletic program.
The Learfield Cup, yeah.
I'll give you a little tidbit. because this is a little self-promotion on my part too. The Gators are number one.
Now everybody knows that my friend Rich is a proud Florida Gator.
Yes, but here's what's important to your nephew. UConn is number 4.
Is that really?
Wow. And that's on the strength of the basketball and the football team, or basketball and men's and women's basketball programs. Yeah,
I think you're talking 12 sports, men and women. That's how they rank all this.
Right.
And how about this? And you ought to send this to your PR guys. Arizona's 7.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah, but by the strength of baseball and by the strength of the softball team and the women's basketball team, and yeah, absolutely, top to bottom. And that's one of the things about, and that's one of the interesting things about the Pac-12 conference is, if you're going to, and this is where Larry Scott, I think, led us astray, the former commissioner. He thought that winning the Learfield Trophy, the old Sears Cup, is important because he wanted to have representation across all the sports, and that's great. But the money generated through all of this is generated through football. So while they put the emphasis on winning all those Sears Cups, the emphasis was taken away from football, and you see that the Pac-12 has fallen off the cliff when it comes to opportunities to play for the college football championship. Now, I'm going to disagree with how he ran things. I think you got to run it like Craig Stanky does with the SEC, that the football tide rises all the other boats. The boats rise with the tide, and as football has gotten better, it just gives you more money that you've invested all the way across. So in the Pac-12, we boosted all the other sports at the expense of football. Where you look at the SEC model, they had football rise the tide of everything else.
I think, Rich, it's actually the opposite in that the SEC has only come on board, and Rich from Chicago could probably attest to this since he played a while back. The SEC didn't really put much energy into Olympic sports or the female sports from 20 years ago. Plus, Stanford won literally every single year until 2 years ago, and they finished second 2 years ago and second last year. And that's just because the Stanford Athletic Department, they get so many super highly intelligent athletes to come and play there. And some of those events, some of the Olympic-type events, they have always excelled in.
But you know what slipped in? You know what slipped in Stanford?
Football. No, there's no doubt about. I'm not comparing. Just relative. I just think rather than the SEC propping football up at the expense, I just think that the Pac-12 has always given effort into those.
Stop. What did you just say?
Sports.
You just hit the nail right in the head. What did you just say?
The SEC propping up their football
at the expense of.
Right. I think,
and they never did. They just propped up football, and everything else came back. There's a lot of people, myself included, think that Larry Scott promoted all the other sports at the expense of football.
They certainly did with the Pac-12 network because they wanted to get a lot of those Olympic non-revenue generating sports out in front of eyes and thought they could do ads. What do you think about that, Rich?
Well, let me give you the others because you guys have something to be proud about. I think Rich's point is exactly on point. Here's some of the other top 10, which stunned me, and maybe you guys, because you're close to it, know this. Number 2 is Stanford.
All right.
Number 3 is UCLA.
Yep.
All right. Number 4 is UConn, which your nephew will be excited about. 5 is North Carolina. So this is really important. Oregon is number 6. You guys have 4 schools in the top 10.
They've had, Rich, they've had 4 or 5 schools in the top 10 for 40 years. Like all those schools you just mentioned, if you go and look at the actual history of that award, Stanford has won 98% of them, and UCLA has finished second, I think, 14 times. UCLA is always up there. Oregon has come around more recently because they just started a baseball program, right? How long ago was that?
Right, and their women's basketball team is amazing.
But I think your points are both on point. You're in violent agreement, both you guys. I think the answer is, because I know Jeremy Foley. Foley was there at Florida for 35 years,
right?
As the athletic director. He turned Florida into an all-sports school by recruiting Billy Donovan for basketball, and then emphasizing and promoting not only the baseball program, which has been to Omaha like 5 times in the last 8 years, but promoting women's sports. The women are probably now more superior than the men's sports at Florida. I mean, golf, swimming, gymnastics, tennis, and I know they're not revenue sports, but it gives you an idea that they're trying to develop an all-around program that can attract a diverse group of kids to build the enrollment. I mean, Florida's got over 50,000 kids.
Right, but that's the quandary that the Pac-12 faces right now, is because as great as all the rest of that is, we now see with realignment that it's all the revenue is driven by football. And that's where the Pac-12 has to decide, do you understand that football drives the revenue? 70% of everything we're talking about, the realignment, is driven through football. Basketball is 30%, and the rest of the Olympic sports make up less than that. So if it's all driven by football in this conference, if we don't get serious about getting teams into the college football playoff, and when we go to 12 or 16 or however many, you're going to have multiple teams from the Pac-12 there. Otherwise, you can't afford to finance all the rest of the other sports.
Well, let me give you one other feather in your cap, and it was really kind of an indirect piece of information.
Yes, but by the way, my nephew and niece are here, so make sure you tell them how smart I am.
No, you are a smart guy. Smart guys call smart guys, right?
That's right.
We're not too much to self-promoters, are we?
No, not at all.
Well, anyway, the thing that I stumbled across, I got this giant argument with Dallas Cowboy fans about America's team.
Right.
Me being a marketing guy from two major companies in my history, I know a lot about how to get market research, and this is something that kind of put them in their place. The Dallas Cowboys aren't America's team, but they're aligned the same way, because here in Chicago, we got the same attitude about Notre Dame being America's team for college, which is garbage. But they really believe that. And part of it is the ranking, and I went and looked this up. There's some research companies that basically polled different demographic groups to determine two different things, and this is really important. One was popularity, and the other was fame, historical fame. And when you look at Notre Dame, first of all, I'll give you your kudos. Believe it or not, this includes NFL football teams. Yeah, two of the most popular football teams in America, both college and pros. And as you know, there's 32 pro teams. Guess where Arizona came in for popularity?
Tell me.
With a 65th, and there's 32 NFL teams.
Wow.
So, yeah, they're 65th most popular football team, period. And this is a very serious group of people. It's called YouGov America is the source, and you can look this up, but it's great PR material for you guys. And get this, here's the difference. Notre Dame, when it comes to popularity or fame, on fame, it's 26. On popularity, believe it or not, it's number 10. They're ahead of 22 NFL teams for popularity. And I'm thinking, what have they done in 20 years? Nothing.
Nothing.
But it goes down to kind of like, people that are kind of wed to Dallas. Dallas is the Notre Dame of college football. What have they done in 20 years? They haven't even been a playoff team for about 15 years. So, I think you got to cut to the chase versus being a fan. Let's take a look at the real hard facts. And people don't like that because I'm all about the data. And I don't think the data lies. That's why I gave you all the information statistically every time that you guys play. That's why I said to you, we all took you guys against UCLA.
Bingo.
We took the points. Yeah, we took the points. And, that's not an accident. And as I said to you, I think the last time we spoke, I love Arizona plus 3.5 against Washington State. I think you'll beat them straight up.
See right there, and then the Territorial Cup becomes something completely different. Hey, Rich, I got to run. I'm over time. Thank you so much. Bear down, buddy. I'll talk to you, and I'll answer back your email. Okay?
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
All right. Take care. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. I'm going to get to that blueprint of success that Adia Barnes gave everybody that you can follow. And it's not just for women's basketball, football. I think it would actually make sense in life. And I'll explain to you that coming up here in just a moment. 520-848-1290. Quick programming note tomorrow. We're not going to do the regular Rich Herrera radio show. We'll have Arizona basketball pregame show starting at 3.
Yep.
I wonder if we should give away our gift card today then. Or do you want to do that Friday?
Ooh.
Let's do it Friday.
Do it Friday.
All right, because we have $100 to give away to Brother John's Beer, Bourbon, and Barbecue. So we'll do that Friday.
Perfect for the Saturday football game.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll take you guys to Brother John's, too. We're going to do that on Friday, but tomorrow we'll have our pregame show starting at 3 o'clock. Football pregame show starts early, 7:30 a.m. at the Mall University in Campbell. We'll do the pregame show starting at 7:30. Then next week, no local shows at all, JW. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have Arizona pregame for basketball from the Maui Gym Classic. And we'll get going late, like 5:30, I think, on Monday.
Yeah, I do have to explain time zones again because Maui's not in the same time zone as Tucson.
No, I'll mess that up.
Yeah.
So we'll do that on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll have a triple header of NFL football, and then Friday we'll have the Territorial Cup. So JW is going to be tired.
Nah, I'll be fine.
You sure?
It's basketball. I don't think I'll ever lose energy talking about basketball. So
that's why I like you. That's why I like you. All right, we'll continue with you. What did Adia do that everybody else should follow? We'll do that next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, hand it to Mathurin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down, and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. Into the backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Mathurin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellis, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments for the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Arizona. Oh, did they need that? My goodness. Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the field. ASU with the ball, down by 11, 3 have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like what, driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Mathurin with the ball for the Wildcats. Mathurin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Mathurin. 10 to shoot. 16 left in the ballgame. Mathurin, 3 balls straight away. Good!
That's
We're
a
tied.
huge shot for Ben Mathurin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Mathurin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berryhill. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball. He underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps out of the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. Second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big time.
On the field is a safety.
Yes, that's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket.
Rich Herrera Show rolls on here on Wildcats Radio 1290. J.W. Madden and a cast of thousands. And like 2 people listening today.
We got at least 3 because you got 2 in there with you.
That's what I said.
Myself,
my nephew and my niece are here.
The best is all the banter that you get in between commercial breaks. That's the best stuff, right?
Are you guys having fun?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm an annual listener. I tune in right before I go into work. So.
Yeah. Yeah, because you live back on the East Coast in Connecticut. So, and then you're excited to go to McHale Center.
Absolutely. Yep.
And you're excited to see Adia Barnes.
Yep. I mean, the Pac-12 and the Big East, I mean, they're 2 different conferences, but, Pac-12 is pretty nice.
Better.
Yeah.
Pac-12's better.
I don't know, man. I'm old enough to remember back when
the Big East?
Big East was the king of college basketball anyway.
Yeah, but they're not anymore.
No, they're not anymore.
No. What's the best basketball conference?
It changes. Lately, it's been Midwest, I think. I don't know. I mean, ACC's always up there.
Right.
It just depends.
But I watched the beginning. We went and got pizza last night, and I watched the beginning of Duke and Kansas. It just didn't seem the same without Coach K.
Yeah, it's going to be weird.
Right.
My whole life, I've watched him on the sidelines.
I know, and everybody here in town hates him.
Did you know my sister's first words were beat Duke? Because my dad was a professor in North Carolina at Chapel Hill, but his wife at the time, their whole family was from South Carolina, and they were Clemson people, and they also have a big rivalry with Duke. So her grandfather bounced her on his knee, beat Duke, honey, beat Duke. And my sister Laura, who will be here next week with her family for Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah, coming to
Are
visit
you cooking?
us. I am cooking. Yeah.
What are you going to make?
I'm going to make Thanksgiving dinner, Rich Herrera.
Like what?
Like all the stuff that you would imagine would be on a Thanksgiving. We might actually branch out and do some fun stuff. I don't know.
No. Everybody has different, because everybody has gross things they serve at Thanksgiving.
This will be the first time that Laura has come to visit us. So it's not like we have a standing 10-year tradition, and if they don't see the same thing on the plate. I just asked her today if there's anything specific they are requesting.
So wait a minute.
No.
The Thanksgiving fare will be turkey?
Sure.
Mashed potatoes?
Of course.
Stuffing?
Yeah.
Gravy?
Yeah.
What else?
I'm sure we'll do some kind of green bean type of thing. It's pretty traditional. Sweet potatoes. Definitely some kind of baked goods. I'm not sure exactly where we're going to go with that. Maybe apple pie or something like that.
Rolls?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise is not an entree for Thanksgiving, but maybe, sure.
You don't have mayonnaise sitting at your Thanksgiving Day table?
If people would like it with their turkey, we'll offer it.
Right, because as I sit there and the turkey's still hot, and I have a roll, and you have some mayonnaise, I throw some mayonnaise on that roll, and I instantly eat a turkey sandwich.
When you asked me the weird things on my table, I think what you're really about to do is admit all the weird things that you generally have on your table is what was happening, right?
Ryan, is there anything weird on your table?
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Will you invite somebody over it's my family, they serve sardines.
Yeah, probably not.
No?
No.
Anything Italian?
No, I don't believe so. No.
You don't have like minestrone or maybe some lasagna or something?
No, it's pretty generic.
Okay.
Rich, quick question. Are you a what's that type of sauce?
What are you taking over my
Hey, that sounds done.
Sauce.
Yeah, cranberry sauce. Is that good? Hot
Cranberry
take?
sauce?
Hot take?
Hot take? Cranberry sauce?
Yeah, sure.
I'll have cranberry
The question
sauce.
is canned or fresh, I think is the right question.
Canned, because it has to have those ripples in it,
Sure.
right?
You want to see those ridges in there.
So you know what I do? You know my Thanksgiving Day tradition, right?
Tell me.
Brazilian steakhouse.
Well, yeah.
That's what we do. You ever been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
No.
It's all you can eat meat.
No kidding.
Yeah, we go to Brazilian steakhouse for Thanksgiving. We've done it.
Argentina and Brazil. They love their meat down there.
We've done it probably last 10 years.
Nice.
We did it in Florida. We did because in Florida I was by myself. It was just me, Rigney, and my wife. So we would go do that. And then in San Diego, I don't know why it ended up being. He was playing football, so we couldn't go anywhere. So it was just the three of us. So we went and had Brazilian steak. And now he's off and we're empty nesters, just the two of us. So we go have Brazilian steakhouse.
Rich, my background is in advertising art and illustration. And what I learned 30 years ago, 25 years ago, is that if you make a mistake, it's not really a mistake. It's just what you want to take it, what direction you want to go with it, if you're drawing a picture of a tree or something.
Right.
And I've applied that to the kitchen. I've been cooking for 20 years. And so at this point.
Why don't you ever cook anything for us?
Because you never asked me to. And besides, you're always bragging about all your friends who own restaurants.
Right,
so,
fine. I would like to have a nice.
I can't compete
what could you make?
Bourbon and barbecue. I can literally make anything you want except for maybe souffles and things like that because I don't have
Really?
I'm not interested in any of that. Yeah,
Really?
I don't do a lot of grilling anymore, but you name it, I could make it.
A prime rib.
Sure.
I'll pay for the prime rib.
Okay.
Could you cook a prime rib for me?
Yeah, but that's not a difficult thing to do.
Oh, I
I'm
don't know
talking
how to
about,
make a
like
prime rib.
shepherd's pies, something we make pretty regularly.
There's a new English restaurant.
How about
on
Chicago-style deep dish pizza? I make that all the time.
Really?
Fresh dough. Yeah, we make our own dough. We use cast iron pans.
Why do I not know this?
Because you're a busy man and you're an empty nester and you guys are going out to restaurants and eating. That's what couples do.
It's because my wife doesn't cook, and she's an awful cook, to be honest with you. But I am excited because you know what's coming up.
What's that?
Tamales.
Oh, yeah.
It's tamale season. Look, Boone's calling again.
Oh, no way.
They got a chance to talk to Brett Boone earlier. Brett,
Tamale season.
Yes. It's tamale season. So if anybody knows good tamales, Rich could use the help.
I think they're all good, personally. It just depends
I know,
on.
but I want to see the guy. I want to see the guy walking down the street with the igloo full of tamales.
Sure.
And then I can stop and get some. Have you ever had a tamale?
No.
Do you even know what a tamale is?
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
It's like a hot pepper, right? Or no? Or is this like okay.
You don't know about the gunfight at the OK Corral.
No.
You've never had In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Do you know what a cactus is?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes,
He's seen a cactus, and he doesn't know what a tamale is. So a tamale is a treat. It's a delicacy. It's Mexican food. They take a corn husk and they wrap it. They use the corn husk to wrap. It's like cornmeal and meat and a little bit of a red sauce, and then they steam it to cook it, and it's the most delicious thing you'll have ever.
All right.
We'll have one before you go. I'm the worst uncle in the world.
What do you mean? You're talking about Tombstone, talking about tamales? I
But
think
he's
you're
never
doing pretty good.
experienced it. He's 23 years old, and he's not spent enough time with me out here on the West Coast.
Well, there's no time better than the present.
This is your first trip to Arizona.
First time.
All right. I'm going to, you know what?
I mean,
Tucson, be careful. We're going to go crazy this week.
This is my first time being on an airplane. So
yeah.
So is this the first time you've ever not had a parka on in November? Is the real question. Have
How
you
big of
ever
a jacket
had
do you wear?
a warmish winter day?
I mean, like, I whip out a jacket like here and there, like cold as probably January, February.
How cold does it have to be for you to wear a jacket?
At least like single digits.
Yeah, see, around here, like, we go from 110 down to, like,
70.
65-degree days, and everybody's out here wearing parkas.
Yeah. I'm putting on Carhartt when it gets to be 70 degrees.
And I'm making fun while wearing a jacket, but just for the record, in this studio, I am surrounded by many very hot computers and
I thought you were talking about
and
me.
everything else. And so the air conditioner is constantly on in this room.
Oh, I thought when you were saying I'm surrounded by hot, I thought you were talking about hanging out with me.
I'm surrounded by hot tamales. And
I am a golden god!
I'm sorry. When you were talking about hot radio, I thought it was
sure. How about
Come on, move it, lard ass.
How about a hot take?
We could do those. You know what? Okay, I gotta pay this off because I've been mentioning this. You know what my thought today was? What's Jed Fish? What's the blueprint that we see at the University of Arizona under Dave Hickey of how to get to success? I was thinking about this today. You remember when we first started having Adia, when I first got back to town, we started having Adia on the show?
Yeah, sure.
And what's the one? Adia used to tell me this, and this is post NIT, pre getting to the Final Four in the NCAA championship. She said, I believed in the team when nobody else did. And I remember her telling me that she was the schedule poster, you know, the posters we have hanging up all over the place.
Yep.
She said the one that they had was wrong, and everybody looked there and she goes, who cares? And Adia goes, I care. And she would push and push and sell and was just an ambassador for her team. Even when nobody else believed in her and laughed at her like, Arizona women's basketball, what's that? I was thinking about this today when I was driving in. Who is the ambassador for Arizona football going, we're going to get Arizona football back? Just as I look back at all of that, I kind of think of Jed was doing the same thing Adia did a couple years later, and now you really see the change. I mean, could this year be their version of going to the NIT if you get to a bowl game and then you build off of that? There is a blueprint of success here at the University of Arizona that both of these coaches have followed. Adia just by her personality, because she gets after it.
Sheer will.
Sheer will. That's why I call her the Toast to Tucson. Everybody should celebrate her. And Jed is about the most eternal optimist that's out there selling Arizona football when most people are looking like whatever. And I just think it's kind of cool right now as we're sitting here. I'm going to go to the game on Friday, and then I'm going to go to the game on Saturday. You see these two coaches that came in here that got their programs at the absolute rock bottom, and through their sheer personality and will, have willed them to where they are for Adia and where they're going with Jed. Think about that. Back when Adia first got here and she's going around, she's on Kim FM with Max Shannon at Pork Chop, and like, why are you talking to the women's basketball coach? But she just had that little infectious thing going and kept thinking about where she wanted to take this program. And Jed's the same thing where, you know, Jed's talking about, oh, it's going to be a great day, we're going to do this, and half the people are rolling their eyes. And it's just kind of neat watching people that believe in themselves and don't take no for an answer and how they achieve success. And I was thinking about that. Can you do that in your own daily life? So many people will tell you no. So many people are haters. And if you let those people with that toxic hatred drag you down, you never get anywhere. But if you're like Jed, who's just eternally optimistic, and if you're Adia and you believe in yourself, there's nothing that can stop you if you put in the hard work.
And Rich Herrera, optimism is great, but both those coaches are also realists. So they're not about to point fingers outside of whatever, you know, realm that they have control over. So what you love about coaches like that is they're always positive, always super optimistic, but also realistic, and also will talk openly about what they need to work on. You know what I mean? They're not sitting there trying to make it bigger than the control they have over the program. And when you have that, obviously, Adia's convinced some very high-profile players to come to Tucson recently. And after last year's class, there's nothing, you know, everything points towards Jed doing the same thing, you know, moving forward. And that's really the starting point to build that program to the place where you can consistently challenge for conference titles.
100%. All right, let's do this. Let's get to Brian Jeffries. He joins us next. The voice of the Arizona Wildcats joins us coming up right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show. Now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290 and our website, wildcatsradio1290.com.
Terry crosses middle, handed to Matherin between the rings. Over for Creasa. Checked by Campbell. High screen from Koloko. Creasa around it, drives right. Throw it for Koloko, who slams it down for two. Lamb set. And the pitch to Susak, driven out towards right field. That is going to get down for a base hit and go all the way to the wall. Casagrande headed for third. They're going to wave him around. He's coming home, and the Wildcats have tied it up. Susak with an RBI double to right center. And we're still playing ball. Tied at 16 in the bottom of the 10th. Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Thank you so much for tuning into our stream. We'll be back in just a bit. Until then, how about some Arizona Wildcat highlights?
Fourth down and less than a yard. Trojans will go for it in a tie game. Slovis out of the shotgun. Step to his left. Step the handoff. It is good. Backfield and drop. No gain, loss on the play. Cats take over.
That's a huge play by Arizona. Explosive play in the backfield that time.
Shot blocked by Koloko, who grabs it out of the air. Ahead to Dalen Terry, Arizona with the ball, minute 30 to go, and a 6-point lead. Juzang working right, drives to the bucket, put up, blocked by Koloko, grabbed by Larson. Arizona ball, 38 seconds left. For Bernard, goes right, blocked by Ballo, grabbed by Matherin. Arizona ball, 22 seconds left. Campbell down for the Bruins, throw it out to Riley. He'll shoot the three, blocked again by Koloko. Ballo grabs it, it's over. Championship to Tucson. Dalen Terry quickly the other way, out to Tabellas, down the lane to throw it down with the left hand. Look out. The locomotive slams it home.
Hey, sports fans, it's Rich Herrera. Show will be back in just a little bit. Thanks for tuning into our stream. Until then, how about some great moments from the University of Arizona Wildcats?
Fourth down and 2, Arizona. Down 14-0. Wildcats on fourth down this year are 12 of 20. Offset backfield. Plummer to throw the ball, looking, throwing towards the back of the end zone, and it's caught! Touchdown, Arizona! Oh, did they need that? My goodness, Booby Curry had to leap in the air to take the ball over the top of the defender, and the Cats are on the board. ASU with the ball, down by 11, so they have to go. Steal by Koloko. He's going to drive the other way and slam it home, and foul by Lawrence.
Why Lawrence contested the big man, Christian Koloko, with defensive steal and flush.
Lawrence picks up his third foul. Big guys love to play point guard. Koloko looked like one driving down that was from midcourt. 3-point lead again for TCU. Down to 30 seconds left. Matherin with the ball for the Wildcats. Matherin around a Koloko screen, picked up by Lampkin. Go outside for Koloko, feed it to Terry, right corner. Terry can't go baseline, circles back out top to Matherin. 10 to shoot, 16 left in the ballgame. Matherin, 3 balls straight away, good!
That's a huge shot for Ben Matherin in Arizona. Timeout TCU. This ball game is knotted up.
12.6 seconds to go. Ben Matherin drains a deep 3 from straight away. He's got 24 points, and we're all even.
Hey, sports fans, this is Rich Herrera. Thanks so much for tuning into our stream. Back in just a bit. Until then, how about some highlights from the University of Arizona?
McLeod's going to line up under center. Wiley, the running back. Receiver either side. 2 tight ends. Oregon, 5-man front. They shift. Play fake, rolling right. McLeod looking to throw. Going deep. Down, trying to find Berrio. Makes the catch inside the 25-yard line. Still loose inside the 15. First down, Arizona.
What a play by McLeod. He was smacked, but he had the presence of mind to know where Berryhill was. He threw the ball, he underthrew the ball, and Berryhill was looking back at it and made a great play on the ball. An amazing play by Jordan McLeod.
Brown will take the snap a yard deep in the end zone. Straight back to throw. Has some time. Steps up in the pocket. The Wildcats have got him for a safety. second safety Arizona has recorded this season. It's a 24-12 ball game, and the Cats will get the ball.
That's big.
Pulling on the field is a safety.
Yes. That's big time by Arizona. That time defense did a great job of just closing the pocket from the inside, and then the pressure on the outside by Hebert. They just got them. They just got there. They won their blocks that time. Excellent job by Arizona defense and really changing the momentum of this game.
Coors Light, official corporate sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Chill on, Wildcats. Here is your host, Rich Herrera.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, put your hands together for the Hall of Famer himself, the voice of the Arizona Wildcats, the one, the only, Brian Jeffries. Brian, how are you?
Rich, doing very well. Beautiful day here, and I've left football practice. In just a moment here, I'm going to give you a little taste of Saturday's game if they get it going here. The Pride of Arizona is, I'm not going to keep it a secret, they're doing their practice session right now, so I thought I'd come over and enjoy some of that. I thought you'd like to hear a little bit too. So
I'd love that. You know what I did, Brian, that I've never done before? My nephew, my brother's son, came out, and he wants to be a member of the band. So I took him out. We met the band director. I didn't realize how much work those kids put in. But we went over, I think it's at Giddings, where they do their tune-up before the football game. Oh, there they are. Wait a minute, let me listen.
There they are.
Oh, that's awesome.
They're getting ready to go.
So we went over when they have their warm-ups, and they practice their show before the game starts. So it was like an hour and a half before the game. We walked over there, and they do it in the middle in that courtyard, and it echoes and bounces off the walls. It was something special. I didn't realize they also do a full concert after the game just to kind of get a cool-down period. Those kids do a lot of work.
They do. They're out here every day practicing, and this is the largest contingent that Chad has had in terms of members of the Pride of Arizona. And so they take great pride, no pun intended, of their performance, and they're working hard at it right now. They're about to run me over, so I got to get out of the way here.
Yeah, we can't have that.
I didn't realize the formation was headed this direction. So.
Yeah, be careful because you have a lot of work to do in the next 10 days, so I need you to be at top of your game. Tell me, what was the flight like home from Pasadena?
Well, it seemed like it was very short. I guess that happens when you win like that. In particular, you do it against a top 10 team on the road in conference play. It doesn't get any better. And sometimes after road games, it's you put in a long day, and I'm talking about everybody that's on the traveling party. And you get to the airport, you load the plane, and it just seems like it takes forever. It was a very quick trip. I mean, it helped that you're only an hour away, but on top of that, it's just the feeling of winning a game like that. You just tell the guys, they did their usual. They were pretty quiet once the plane took off because they've worked real hard all day and they needed their rest. And it was well after midnight when we left Los Angeles, but it was fun.
We've had fun listening to the final plays over and over and over again. Just describe the energy, and Lamont's barely able to breathe. I'm surprised you didn't have to get a paper sack because he's going to hyperventilate at the end of the ball game. We talked to Dave Hickey what it was like to stand there in the sidelines. Give me your perception, your recollection of that moment and how exciting it was just to live through that.
Yeah, there's a couple of perspectives there. The press box at the Rose Bowl, because of the size of the stadium, it can seat 100,000 people. We're as far from the field as you can be. And so you feel a little distant, if you know what I mean. And so the Arizona fans were down in one end zone, but it was hard to hear them where we were because of the great distance we were at. And so it was more or less the body language that you had to read as you looked down and you saw them jumping up and down
in the end zone. Everybody wearing red down there, and certainly the sideline. I think the thing is, of course, because that game wasn't won really until that clock hit zeros. So the sideline was as controlled as you could imagine. You saw a lot of guys on their knee, just hoping and praying that they were going to be able to get out of there with a win. So it was the excitement happened once it ended, and then to see the guys run out of the field. And I know some of the guys came back out of the locker room later to have their picture taken out of the center of the field because, as we talked about quite a bit last week, and certainly during the game, Arizona's right now not scheduled to play another game in that stadium until they play in the Rose Bowl game. So it was one to have some memories. It was a great memory to leave because, like I said, Rich, the next time we go back there, it will be the Rose Bowl game, and so you couldn't ask for a better way to close out that chapter, I guess, of games in Pasadena.
Brian Jeffries, voice of the Wildcats, joining us here on 1290. For your money, what was the difference? How did Arizona go from losing little to winning little?
Well, I think you could tell, really, you go back to practice, and I had asked Jed last week, I said, they were coming off one of their poorest performances of the season, and certainly the offense played its poorest all season long. And I asked him on Thursday, I think, or maybe it was Friday, one of those days, I just said, is the makeup of this team and the type, and particularly the offensive guys, that, they want to make up for what was a poor showing up in Salt Lake City? And he said, absolutely. He said you could see it in practice throughout the week that they had come back, with great attitude, a lot of energy in practice. They felt that they matched up well with UCLA. They knew what they had in store there in terms of, playing a top 10 team on the road, going to the Rose Bowl. I mean, everything was there. And then just the way the game started, I think that was the other part of it. You could tell really early on. I mean, it was 14-0, but even when UCLA came back to tie the game, I don't think Arizona played with any less confidence at that point, and they just kept it up all game long. And the things that we've talked about all season long, Rich, no turnovers, only 3 penalties. They played efficient, they played smart, and those are the things they have to do, this particular team has to do to win games. So they did that. The formula was there, the formula that they've needed all season to win games, and they executed it. So we knew early on in that game, I had a feeling they were going to play well. I didn't know if they could win. I thought they were going to play well. And then I think, probably at the end of the first quarter, Lamont and I kind of looked at each other and said, this might be it. It looks like they've got the magic stuff going.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about the defense, the much maligned defense. The job that Jacob Manu did, and Hunter Echols, and Jalen, and I mean, I can go up and down. I'm gonna miss somebody if I don't stop right now. But the fact that this defense, who's been so beat up, and everybody's looked at them, when they stood tall in the saddle, what was the difference on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, the game plan going in was to keep Thompson Robinson in the pocket. And that meant that the edge guys, Hunter Echols and Jalen Harris, had to play their best games. They both played their best games of the season. Absolutely. I mean, they graded out higher than they had any game this year. And so it started with those two guys. And, yeah, Jacob Manu had a fantastic game. He's freshman of the week for a good reason because he's been coming on here since he got into the starting lineup. He's going to be a great player down the road. It was a combination of everybody. But that's where it started with Echols and Harris and Jacob Manu and Efi Prysock, and everybody just knew that they had to step it up. And I think the key, again, was keeping Dorian Thompson-Robinson from taking over the game. And I know they got a lot of rushing yards, but you had one of the best running backs in the Pac-12 and one of the better ones in the country. You give him his due. UCLA's run the ball, but they've been able to do that this year against a lot of teams. The X factor was trying to keep Thompson Robinson from controlling the game, and that's what Arizona did, and I think ultimately, that won it for them.
Let's jump over to the offensive side of the ball. Jaden DeLaura, what a ball game for that young man. A couple times he scared me when he's holding that football out there with just 1 point of contact, but boy, you talk about getting as close as he can to the red line without going over the top of it, without blowing that engine of the football game. Wow, what a game he had.
Well, we've seen he's an exceptionally talented young man, and he just keeps getting better week in and week out. And he might have been the one guy that was angrier than anybody over the game up in Salt Lake City, and probably more vocal than anybody in the fact that they were going to put that behind them and they were going to make up for it last week in Pasadena. And so, again, nothing surprises me anymore when I watch him play because he is that talented. I just think some of the impossible throws that he made possible that a lot of guys just can't do. And Chip Kelly gave him, all the credit, saying that, they hadn't faced a guy that had his mobility, his escapability that Jaden had in that ball game. And he's going to need it again this week. Believe me, not only is his former team, but maybe one of the best defenses in the league.
Well, let's jump ahead to the game against Washington State. I know Jed's going to get mad at me for selling rat poison, but I'm reminding everybody Arizona controls its own destiny, and the fact that you might have an opportunity just to even think about going from 1-11 to being bowl eligible is something remarkable. So give me your early thoughts on the Washington State game.
Well, I think it all comes down to, Arizona's offense against Washington State's defense. The Cougars lead the league in scoring defense. They are tremendously quick at pretty much all their positions. They're not as big as a lot of the teams the Wildcats have seen in the league this year, but they make up for it with their quickness, and they play extremely hard on defense. Their offense is average. It's good. There's nothing wrong with it. Cam Ward, the transfer quarterback that took Jaden's place up there, he's had a good season. Nakia Watson, their running back, has had a very good year. They've had to replace some of their receivers from last year, but again, they've been fine on offense. And when you have a lockdown defense like that, then you don't have to have a great offense. And it's kind of, you flip the script, you look at Arizona and you say, okay, if the Wildcats defense can play the way they did last week, we know their offense can move the ball. The question is, who's going to win out in this one, the Cougars defense or Arizona's offense? And, just to follow up on what you mentioned there, Rich, and that is that, all week long, nothing but accolades, hugs, pats on the back. What a great win. But you have to put that behind you. And the Wildcats, they cannot, that's not going to help them this week because Washington State doesn't care that Arizona beat UCLA at the Rose Bowl last week. The Cougars are 6-4 right now. They're already bowl eligible. They've got a chance to improve their bowl game stock with 2 more wins. They get the Apple Cup at home next week. So they got plenty to play for as well. And I think that's really going to be the test here. Which team brings it? Which team lays it out on the field on Saturday afternoon? And I think this stadium, if it's buzzing the way I hope it is, that's going to be a huge lift for the Wildcats because the Cougars haven't played in a lot of big crowds. They played in front of 70,000 in Wisconsin. They won that game, right, to their credit. And, they played in front of 60,000 in L.A. Other than that, they haven't been around a lot of big crowds. So, the fans can really make a difference in this one.
Have we heard anything? I was going to send a text to Dave Hickey. Have we heard anything as far as how ticket sales are going?
I have not. I've been too busy. I really haven't checked up. We have a staff meeting tomorrow morning, usually when they let us know. I know that the ticket office has been busy this week, and with the weather being as nice as it is, and everything that's on the line right now, this is one that I think a lot of people want to be at.
Absolutely. By the way, let's switch gears real quick because you were going to be the busiest man outside of J.W. Madden here for the next week because as we're talking about the football game Saturday, you got basketball Thursday, Utah Tech. Any thoughts on that?
Well, it's a fairly new Division I program. It was the school formerly known as Dixie State. They're in the WAC. They lost at Washington the other night, but they brought some new guys in. Tanner Christensen, their center, is 6'10", 280. He's a load. He scored 26 against the Huskies up in Seattle, and I think that's perfect because I think Arizona's faced a couple, physical teams, but they haven't faced size like they're going to see in Christensen tomorrow night. So that's what you want to do early in the season like this. You want to see different kinds of teams. I think Tommy Lloyd said they're a very organized team that the Wildcats are going to see tomorrow night. So it's a different style than the first 2 opponents, but that's a good thing because this is that last tune-up, and I know Coach doesn't like to hear that, but you go to Maui and you got 3 games in 3 days. You don't have time. Your head's spinning there on day 2 and 3. So you kind of want your house in order after tomorrow night's game and be playing as good as you can at this time of the year.
Okay, so what's Brian Jeffrey's schedule look like over the next 5, 6, 7 days?
Well, we got basketball tomorrow. Obviously, we got football Saturday. Sunday, fly to Hawaii. Then we've got games Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Get back here on Thursday. And then the football game on Friday. And then sleep for 2 days.
You got a lot of prep to do, my friend.
You know, and I've been working on it for a while because, when you go into an event like the Maui Invitational, there's 8 teams there, which means Arizona could play any one of the other 7. We know the first one, Cincinnati. We know the second game is either San Diego State or Ohio State. But when you get to that third day, you don't know who's going to surface. You kind of have a feeling, but you can't eliminate any team. So basically, I've got work done on all 7 potential opponents. And we've done this before, Rich. It's not the first time. And you get done with the game on Monday, you get ready for Tuesday. You get done with the game on Tuesday, you get ready for Wednesday. And the key is to be as prepared in advance as possible. And I think right now I feel pretty good because I've been able to watch some of these teams because they played some early games, and you get a kind of a sense. And like I said, the first 2 days, and that makes the third day a little easier.
Will you put a toe into the Pacific Ocean while you're in Hawaii?
The last time we were there, I got down to the beach for 15 minutes. I have promised myself I'm going to be there longer.
Okay.
I can't tell you how long, but I get in there early enough on Sunday that I'm probably going to wander down there. And
okay,
you got to take in. I mean, there's that's part of the reward of being able to go to an event like this. And I think for the players, there's a lot of cultural things that they will get to experience. And a lot of those guys have never been to Hawaii before. Now they've got to realize it is a business trip. But the team gets there on Saturday, and so that allows them some extra time, and then they're going to stay for Thanksgiving. So they'll get to enjoy, the fruits and labors of their hard work for 3 days because they'll have a little time before and a day after to try and soak in what Hawaii is all about. But it's going to be all business there for 3 days.
By the way, is there anything special about Maui? Because I've never been to the tournament before. Do they put on just the best hospitality and take care of the teams? Is it kind of like the Fiesta Bowl, who's known for their hospitality?
Well, I think it's and I haven't been to all of them, of course, but just in terms of holiday tournaments, I don't know if you can beat it. First of all, you're in paradise. That's number one. Number two, the people that do operate that event, and most of them are locals there, of course, and they've been at this for a long time. And yes, they want everybody to enjoy their time there. And here's another thing: keep in mind, Rich, the last 2 years that event has been held in the lower 48 because of COVID, and so it's great to be back. And I think that's going to make it even more special for the people there in Lahaina, in particular, because they've gone without any tournament for the last 2 years, and to have everybody back again, I think they're going to be thrilled to see the Lahaina Civic Center packed and rocking again for 3 days.
Now, does Brian Jeffries have time to eat turkey through all of this?
Yeah. Well, I'll get back on Thursday. I'll get back on Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And my wife and my daughter are already working on a menu, but won't be a big meal. That's okay.
Okay.
I'm not a big turkey fan, Rich.
Sorry. No, we talked about that last year, and I do I need to make sure I get you something? I need you to be nourished for that. Do we need to call Lamont to make sure that he's taken care of?
Oh, Lamont's taken care of. Trust me. No, my family, they sacrifice a lot when I have to travel, and this is a good example where I'll get back on Thursday and probably have to take a nap, obviously, and then, but they'll take care of everything, and that's why I love them so much, and we'll enjoy Thanksgiving together, and that's what really the holidays are all about.
I have met your lovely wife and your family, and she's delightful, and tell your entire family, because I don't know if we're going to get a chance to chit-chat much before Thanksgiving, but I'm thankful for my opportunity to talk with you every week. I'm thankful to be here in Tucson. I'm thankful to be around the Wildcats, and I'm thankful for you.
Well, thanks, Rich, and right back at you. And I'm very thankful for the people of Arizona because this is such a great place to live, and it goes beyond athletics. But this week is special now. I think we've waited a number of years now to have a football game like this, and so I hope that after Saturday's game that we'll have something else to be thankful for, and that would be a win and a shot at a bowl game the following Friday.
I can't wait. I'm going to give you – I'm going to just make sure I tell you, here's what I want you to bring back because I know we're going to get that done. Hey, Brian, thank you very much. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, same to you. Thanks, Rich.
All right, bear down. Brian Jeffries, voice of the Arizona Wildcats, joining us here on 1290. All right, coming up, again, I've gotten requests, people wanting to hear this conversation. It's so inspiring hearing Francisco Romero. We'll do that next here on 1290.
This is the Rich Herrera Radio Show, now streaming on Facebook Live and YouTube at Wildcats 1290.